Hi traders, welcome to the week ahead. Apologies for being a little late, but I've purposely done it because I wanted to see how the market was going to play out by the time we hit the London session. We're now 3 hours into the London session, or 3 hours 15 minutes, and nothing much has happened. It's been a quiet day so far, but before we get going, you understand that the information in this video is for educational purposes only. They're my personal opinions. I do not give it financial advice. This channel does not give financial advice, and you agree not to hold the distributors of this video series liable for any of the information shared. You need to take some advice from experts. If you are contemplating trading Forex, you need to go and seek out those that are qualified to give you financial advice, and be aware that it's high risk trading currencies, and you can risk losing a lot of money, and you can actually win a lot of money. So just to clarify, the information is an educational purpose only video. Let's get into it. All right, I want to start with the Forex calendar, if I may, and just very quickly run through this. There's not a lot, obviously, for the first day of the open market. There's China CPI. Remember, it looks like it's been a positive reading, and that's all very cool. Let's just do this for you. I'm only looking at high impacting and medium impacting scenarios. So here we have it. Okay, it was forecast 4.9. It's come out quite a bit higher, but then the virus will bring that to a level kill. I don't think we're going to see any massive spikes in the commodity currencies. If we do, I don't think they'll be long lasting. So the first bit of really interesting information for me is Lagarde speaking there, and it's an annual report for the European Parliament. So that is significant this week. That is my time, Wednesday, 3 a.m. in the morning. So that will be just heading into the New York session. The next lot of stuff that I'm really keen to hear about is the official cash rate, which is not predicted to change for the New Zealand dollar. The monetary policy statement is very key. So tomorrow, actually, no, Wednesday, which is a couple of days away for me, I will be watching this closely. And the governor all speaks. I like to listen to these speeches because I can get a tone often and an understanding of where the central bank's thinking. It all helps in understanding fundamentals. Later in the week, we have government low for Bank of Australia, the governor for the Canadian bank. We finish up the week with core CPI month-on-month inflation data for the US, and that's about it. So it's not a heavy week. It's light, but keep an eye on it. These things can move markets. So let's go and start with the US dollar. Just bear with me for a minute as we get into this. Right, we're ready to roll. I want to take a look at the dollar index to start off with first. Last week we had a break. This brown mark here is weekly support and resistance, and you've been hearing me bang on about this for quite some time. This is showing strength in the US dollar. And it's really interesting. You know, you can go to currency charts and currencies meters, and here's a currency meter today that just as a by product of the video, look, USD is showing that it's not necessarily that strong. It's actually showing that it's weakened off today. Yet you come back at the charts and you have a look at that chart and you can see exact opposite. So don't just fall in love with currency charts and strength indicators. This is the candle for the day. This has been a strong candle, and now we're coming up to this key level. This is daily resistance. Now on a weekly chart for the dollar index, you can see there are some really interesting key levels. This was always, when it came down here, if it didn't close below here, the dollar's not falling out of bed. Some traders are still trading according to their thinking because they saw some stupid crown on a daily or weekly chart or monthly chart or 4-hourly chart, and they're still trying to trade it, but it hasn't fulfilled its symmetry. And so they get stuck with huge drawdowns. It's crazy. When you could have put that money and invested while you wait for a year, 18 months to get your money, all that money could have been put to better use. So, you know, this is the beauty of support and resistance. This is the beauty of trading around a daily candle change or a 4-hour. You know, we don't have to sit in front of our computers. This is the first time I've seen the charts today. So this is a key critical area on the daily. I'm looking at this as a true move up on the US dollar, and we're going to get some strength. We're going to get a retest of here. Now, if this is just a bit of a fraudulent thing happening today and tomorrow it all changes and it starts coming back down here, so be it. But take a look at the New Zealand USD. There it is there. Last week we had this move down. That was the best move. That was where I got in on the trade. Right in here. And I'm still holding trades come the end of last week, and I chose to get out. And I was talking to Calder, and he can verify that. I got out of all my trades. I'm not sitting in any trades. I haven't taken any. There's no new triggers. If we get it closed, the fundamental, if we go down to the daily, was very positive for the non-farm payroll. And if we went and had a look, and we won't for the sake of time, when after non-farm payroll, there was the potential, if you went down to maybe a 4-hour chart, to get the trade. Here is the non-farm payroll candle. Right here. Right there. And it was halfway down here, and the question was asked, you know, how come you're not trading down here? Well, I don't trade in to key support. I've already made more than enough money for the week. Why would I risk it? And here we go. I'm just happy, you know. There's something inside of me that's going, no, I'm going to wait, because this is a key level. Look at all this stuff here. It wasn't worth, from my perspective, trading from here to here. 15 pips or maybe 30 pips. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. And now what we're seemingly, we could get a hold here at this level, and we get a bit of a retest up here and then come down, or we could just get a lot of sideways movement and just go sideways. Boom. So there you have the US dollar, and watch it. Watch this thing. You know, while this has been going up, here's the end of the daily candle back here. And as soon as I saw this, that was when I started jumping in on that move down here. Boom. See, here's the key levels. It's just simple stuff. I'm not going to give my profits back. I'm not going to chase the market. Right, let's get right back into Aussie and go through these things. And incidentally, it's really, really interesting. Here's another. Sorry, I'm just going to do this. I was going to say, here's another chart. Let me do this to show you what's happened today. And I kind of like this one, but you can't, it's not, you can't trust it. You've got to have a look at the charts. So I'm into trading weak currencies, weak against strong. I'm not interested in trading two weak currencies or two strong currencies. I'm just not interested in that. It's crazy. It's not a good idea. Here we go. This is the beginning of the market open, and this is the Aussie. And look at it. You would say, oh, the Aussie's strong today. The Aussie's strong today. We should be trading the Aussie against the USD. So if that's part of your strategy and you can't see past the nose on your face, just go and have a look at the charts today. It's bollocks. Here's the Aussie against the USD. It ain't charging up the thing. So you've got to have a look at the big picture. Here's the key areas for this pair. We closed on Friday down here. Don't just go, oh, jump in. It's strong today. What a load of rubbish. So let's get into it. Enough of that stuff. Sorry, guys, but I'm passionate about this stuff. So here we have a very key inflection point. These are historical lows down here on the monthly chart down here. This was a key level, and we had a breakdown. That's why I took it. And when I've taken this move down here, I've taken this first wave 1 and 3, now 4, and where are we on wave 5? Even Elliott wave only works less than 60%. It's scientifically proven. So don't just trade Elliott wave and then every trade you get, you jump into. Don't get caught in that trap, because you will get burnt. Be honest about it. Have a think about the strategies and the financial packages that you've bought. And now you've given up on it because suddenly it's not working as well as it was, and it got yourself in the poo. If you're still trading with that mindset, whatever you've got into has got to come and bite you on the bum eventually. So there's no trade here. Here's the daily. There's no trade here. These are key levels. Aussie Swiss. No trade. All we've done today is go more sideways. This was the break. I can remember, I am interested in some guys, but, they were sound good. Your opinions, my opinions will sound good on this channel, but unless the market proves and tells us that my opinion is valid, don't listen to it. Don't even listen to me. These are just probabilities, trading ideas. If this happens, that happens. This is the trade. There's a couple of guys that I follow, wax eloquent, and they're talking about how we're going this way. Well, that's bull. There's no such thing as a crystal ball in the market. Think about price action. Think about support and resistance. Don't fall in love with your strategies and then get trapped with huge drawdowns of thousands of dollars because you can't see anything different. Don't listen to that rhetoric. Don't get caught in it. This is the reality of the market. It had a go at coming up here. I tried to ride this up because this here on the Aussie Swiss, I'm looking at historical lows down here on the monthly chart. I want to get in this trade. I want to get into it north. Dumb. Come on. Technically, it's all oversold. Don't listen to that stuff. I haven't got time to prove my point. I had a go from here many times. Here's the month. Here's the weekly. Gives you a perspective. You can see here's what the historical low is on the monthly. down here, I traded it up. I'm trying to have a go at this, but look at it from a daily perspective, which is a better time frame to trade because it's relevant to where price action currently at. And you can see on this here that we are at critical levels right here on the daily. Now, what am I looking for? We've had the high range of last week, and it broke back up into here, but it couldn't get past this. Look at this. It couldn't get past this. So what does the market do? Down, and this could just go sideways. So no trade. Aussie New Zealand, there's no trade. I'm waiting for this key level. Aussie USD, well, I've been in the trade, but I decided to take profit. Look at this. Let's take a look and see where the historical lows are. Come on, let's be sensible about this and pragmatic about this. You know, how many of the traders out there that I come across that are still struggling to actually be successful? They're caught in that. They're just caught in a whole lot of crap. You can see this is a critical level here, and really, let me see. This is a strong level right in here, and it's broken down to this key level here. We're not at historical lows for this pair. They're right down there. So this pair, regardless of your opinions, until the market confirms your opinions, don't fall in love with your idea and then get trapped by trading because you can't see the reality. The reality is that this can go all the way down here. But right now, it looks like we are stuck right in here. So there's no trade this week so far. What has to happen for this trade? Is this range for me tradable? You know, your strategy is different to mine. Stick to your strategy. That's only 53 pips. There's no way I'm going to try and trade in this range. I'm going to wait for a break above here, and then I might have a crack at that. CAD JPY, no trade again. Here's the key level for me. This I think I got in this last week. I can't remember, or the week before. I traded this up and then pulled back, took my profits, put them in the bank earlier in the week last week. Right now, no trade. Swiss JPY. Now this for me is one of the key pairs that I'm really interested in. We are in an uptrend, but until this proves that this trend is going to continue, we've had the first push down, that it's got to come past. I've got pending orders sitting under here, so no trade. But with the yen being weak and the Swiss being so strong, I'm going to test the water when it breaks this level here. Okay, so I'm looking to do this week. This is probably my top pick for the week. Some of the other pairs, I think we're looking at, you know, some pullback stuff. Okay, here we go. Euro AUD. We got up and we tested these areas here halfway through the week, around about Wednesday. It broke, look, indecision candle. Here's a very strong support and resistance area here. It's bounced off the Friday candle. You know, people fall in love with these strategies. Please stay flexible, because you could say, oh, there's an engulfing candle. We've had wave one, back. Rubbish. Look at it. 164 is a key level here, and until you get a close, I would not be trading this. And again, it's only my opinion for what it might be worth. There's 100 pips. I'd have a go at that. But I'm not trading a range. I'd be looking for a continuation, and use your trend lines, use your support and resistance. But I tell you what, a break of this line, and I'm going to be trading back down this way. Piece of cake. So no trade, Euro CAD, Euro Swissy. Now, is this going to develop this week? I'm looking, I really am. looking to buy this pair, but I have to wait until the market says buy, not my opinion, because my strategy says this or my strategy says that. I'm just having a look. See, look, key area here. I'm just going to the weekly. I don't take support and resistance lines horizontally off anything lower than a daily. Here's historical lows. This can easily come down regardless of what your technicals say. Fundamentally right now, there's a high probability that we're going to see this pair move lower. I am a technical trader, but fundamentals of what drive the market, not technicals. When technicals and fundamentals line up, you've got a powerful, powerful combination. And we have to learn to read the market. The market speaks to you. It's got its own language. This is a key inflection point here. And look, we've just been turning around. So right now, no trade. Key level if I'm going north, and key level if I'm going south. We've got alarms set. Patience. Patience, patience, patience. Patience a virtue, so they tell me. I'm not that good at it. Here we go. I'm expecting, if I want to make an educated guess, probably more sideways movement this week. Look at the weekly key areas of support and resistance here. We'll go to the daily in a minute, and that's strong inflection point. Right, let's go to around our day. Nothing. This here, this range, you can see it. Fair enough, it's range bound. 96 pips. I'm not getting caught in it. The key inflection points for me is a close above here. If it's going to go lower, we're going to get a close. If we get a close here and take this out, I think we're on the way. I will just take a little trade and determining on what how the market sentiment's reacting to the fundamentals, and I'll just take a small. This is the second trade for me this week that I'm watching, along with the Swiss JPY. I'll take some small positions, and once we get down to here and we get some, in fact, let's put a horizontal big line through here. We get down to here, I'll be looking for a break down here, and I won't add and get the first move down, and then I will look for some sort of retest. It could come all the way up here, or it could just go off here. And this is the key level when I know it's taking out below. Okay, Euro JPY, no trade. Again, sideways movement. And again, it is not worth trading from my perspective. It's 95 4 pips. This is a daily time frame, man. Come on. Euro Z. It's a little bit similar to the Euro Aussie, but it's really not. So let's come down. It's bouncing around a bit here. Now, the key levels here for me are right in here and here. So I'm sitting on the sidelines. These pairs, like the Aussie pound or the pound Aussie, the Euro Aussie, the Euro NZ, have bigger daily trading ranges. So you've got to be careful with them. And this one here is 160. I'm still not trading it. Key level for me is a close above here, and then I would have a go. I'd try and trade it back up to a retest first up here for the first position, and then my big hairy dog goal, hoping that I would get it, would be that here. But this is where I take my first position off. It's like if I got the scenario. Okay, if I get a close below here, then that changes the market. If I have an opinion that this is going higher because of my particular strategy, the market's got to confirm it. Otherwise, it's just an opinion. So be wary of our opinions. Don't get caught. and don't be influenced by other people's opinions. Don't even be influenced by my opinions here on this channel. Wait for the market to confirm what you're thinking. Stick to your strategies. If they're working, if they're not working, change them. So if we get a close below here, I'll be looking for some sort of retest and then going down. And this is really tricky, this one, because you've got from here, see, that's the top of this little messy consolidation area. So trading into here, I wanted to check it, 137 pips. I'd be very wary. That's why there's only one way I'm going to get into this trade, and that would be, let's do it again. I would want, even if it did this like that, I still wouldn't be getting into that trade until it broke below here. So then you'd want another, it moves in waves. So I'd be very careful with the Euro NZ. Euro USD, nothing. That was the trade that was in last week. Looking for a turn. This area is key at, it's still not down at 109. If we get a trade and we break this level here, if we get a move for whatever reason, Lagarde makes some announcement, or the Euro suddenly starts dropping out of bed, then any close below 190 opens up some really good possibilities. Right now, just patient, and yep, it could turn. It could easily get a breakdown through here, or else we could go up, retest, and away we go. And if we get a move, something like this, I will be looking to put a pending order up there. Pound AUD. At an inflection point, no trade. There's not a lot of trades right now. We've been open for, heck, we've been open for 13 hours. So it's just a matter of patience. There's a little bit of news coming out that could trigger a move around the New Zealand dollar, around the euro in a couple of days or a day. So no trade. Pound Swissy, no trade. I want to take this north. And I could give you elegant speech about why it's going north, and I could wax elegant and talk you into believing this is going north. There are no guarantees, because the market always does what the market wants to do. So be careful with your analysis. Okay, right now, this is where we're at. So no trade. I don't care how good my indicators are, I'm not taking this trade. This is the key inflection point. I would consider this, but even then I would be wary. And the reason I would be wary is because this here is not a huge, look, it's only 100 pips. To take these small trades, you've got to spend a lot of time in front of your computer. I'm looking for the moves. That's why I trade daily candle change. I'm looking for this move up. From here, I want to catch that. That's 300 pips. I want to catch that. That's 700 pips. I don't always trade pullbacks, but we've got up to wave 3 and now it's messy. So here we go. Those are the moves from here to here. I'd rather not trade and catch all of this. And there's 1,000 pips. Which do you want? Do you want to be a full-time trader that makes a living? So I'm waiting. I think that technically this is going to recover, and we're going to see a massive move on some of these pound pairs. Patience. Pound caddy. No trade. No trade at all, because we're at a key inflection point. Now we get a break of this trend line here. Is it worth trading? You have to decide, because you've got your sets of rules. 138, yeah, I'd have a crack at that. And I'd be taking profit right down in here, and then I'd be waiting to see what is happening. Pound JPY. I'm itching. You know, the yen's weak right now, but we've had a lot of sideways movement since just before Christmas or just after Christmas Day. It's you know, this, even though this range might be tradable for me, it's over 200 pips, so I'm quite happy to trade from the bottom. Your cutoff point might be 400 or 100, and that's not a right or wrong thing. Stick to your plans, but if your plans don't work, you can change. So right now, I'm wearing with pound pairs because we're not finished with the volatility around it. We've got a year of negotiations to figure out how this exit from the European Union is going to work. So we're going to get a lot of volatility. And right now there's no trade. For me to have a trade here, I'd be looking at this area of support and resistance. I'd want some sort of engulfing candle, and then by the time I got that off a daily, I've got to ask myself, is it worth, there's 151, I'd have a go at that, but then I'd be taking profit here until I got a close above here, and then I'd be targeting this area up in there. Alrighty, pound New Zealand, no trade, very similar to the pound AUD. It's come back and retested this area. Right now, I'm waiting. Is this the retest of this move up? Who knows? We have to wait and see. Exciting stuff, eh? It really, really is. And, you know, just good common sense practice. So I would, when I look at this and I look at it technically, you know, some prop traders would suggest that trend lines are useless. Others would say they're not. It's all a matter of you've got to be prepared to die for your own convictions. This I'm interested in if I get a close above this area here, because I think there's a good chance this could be a continuation. My preference is that it trades, if it goes along sideways, for example. Let's take a look. We'll use, if this is going to be the shelf of support, and we'll get rid of all drawing tools that we don't want. There we go. If this proves to be the bottom, it would line up with this here, wouldn't it? You know, it's so easy trading. So easy. All right. Now, what I would like, if we live in a world that is reality, I'd like it to come here, and then I'd like it to come up and do its thing. And if we get a retest down here, I'm going to take a small trade. If we get up in here, I'm going to take a little small trade, but this is where I'm going to stack it if I get a close above these key areas here. All right. Moving on to pound USD. Here we are. No trade. I'm not in the trade, not planning to get in the trade, but I am eyeing this one up. So this is number 3. Doesn't mean squat. I'm looking for a chance to trade this from here. Now I might not get it, but I'd be happy if this actually begins to bottom out. I mean, look at, I'm looking for this level to hold here. And it's right in the middle of that consolidation. That's why I'm thinking that maybe it may go down here. It might take 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. It might not even do that, and it just might shoot up from here. Righto, pound New Zealand Swissy. Real key. It's like the Aussie Swiss. I really want to get into this trade, but there is no trade right now. I did trade and have a go at this, and then I got stopped out on my second position. And you can see that this is a key area here, man. Look at this. I mean, look at it. Bring it down. Look, strength, price reaction. You don't hang on to trades thinking, oh, this is the first move up, and then now it's going to do this, and then it's going to do that. No, no, no. I took my profit. I'm waiting. Will I trade it from here? If I do, I'll only be using a small lot size because it could turn here. I don't have a crystal ball, but it could turn here. But this is what I really like. This would make me smile. This is would have me smiling big time. The market's got to prove that this is going to happen. Alrighty. So there's no trades right now on the New Zealand or Aussie pairs. They could eventuate, especially the New Zealand, when we had a look at that calendar and the cash rate coming out. That'll be hopefully the instigator to the getting an idea what and where the New Zealand dollar is going to move from here. We're at a key inflection point. I'm glad I'm out of trades. Here's my move. I've been trading it from the top. I've made heaps of money. I don't need to chase the market. So this could be, like I said, down and then down here, or instead of up, down, then we could have this. And the market is going to have to prove itself. The market will confirm my opinion. US caddy, no trade. Inflection point, here it is. Boom. It doesn't mean to say you won't get a trade later in the week. Will I take it up above here? I don't know. Let's go and have a look at the bigger time frames. You can see, look, there's the weekly chart. And you can see that there is a inflection point there. So it would have to close above here. That's why we've got the cross in here. I would prefer to see if we get a break. I don't want to get caught in a fakie. I just don't want to get caught in a fakie. So we'd have to get a break above here and some sort of retest. Who knows? And then away. So if this scenario happens, I'm definitely going to wait for a retest. So I'm not going to take the breakthrough because of these areas here. I mean, let's just put a line through them. You can see. Too risky for me. So I would rather wait for this scenario to from here come up, down, and that's the one I want. This one up here. That's the one I want. Okay. So here we go on US Swissy and no trade. Very, very careful. This I'm not even trying to trade it to here. Simply because the Swiss is so strong now. The US dollar seems to be coming back with a vengeance, but I'm not trading it. I want to see it close above here. JPY. Again, you see here's key inflection points. Look at it. What's this area? The 110 area. And I've said all along, I've been saying it all year and the latter part of last year, I'm actually expecting at some point to have a move down. And I'm looking at the weekly chart right now. And the reason that here's a, look at this. Here's the neckline, one. And then it came and retested. So there's that. And then there's this area here and this area here that couldn't get above. And now, it hasn't taken out. It's not a reversal. So I'm expecting the trend to continue. And so no trade. I'm just going to wait. I want this trend to continue. But if we get a break of this trend line, which is weekly, and then we get some sort of retest, then I'm off to the races. Hopefully, no guarantees, because you've got to take out these highs before you're really sure. In here, you just have to. It's another key area right in there. Okay, let's have a quick look at gold and wrap this up. Right now, no trade. You can see in the daily, oopsie, sorry about that, guys. Remove drawings. You can see here, you know, we've had a strong, we're in a strong uptrend swing. These areas are critical here. The latter part of the year in December, when it started to move back up from here. Just before Christmas, it carried on, it's pulled back, and now we're locked in these ranges. Here's the key areas. So we'll just wait. There's a lot of talk that gold's going to strengthen later in the year, and it's going to be a good buy because with the elections and everything else, the dollar's going to fall out of bed. Well, the dollar's not falling out of bed. Here are the key areas for gold. Be careful. Nothing else to say right now. Gold, you know, just mucking about. Look in here. So no trade. Let's just have a look and see what the weekly says. But as far as daily candle change goes, there's nothing. You can see weekly resistance here. It's pretty strong. Pull it down into here, here, no trade. So for me, I'm staying out of this until I get a break here or here, and I'll let the market tell me what it's going to do. So there you have it, traders. Yep, it's a long video, but I've tried to be thorough, tried to give you a good rounding opinions with potentials for trade ideas. Remember that the key pairs I'm looking at this week is the Swiss JPY. That would be probably my number one trade. The Euro Swissy would come in next, and there you have it. Stay safe out there. Protect your capital. Don't mess it up. Don't give your profits back. Have a good week out there, and we'll talk to you in the chat room. Cheers.